And I got up and I opened the door, and there was the sheriff, which is Gene Sire, which I did recognize him, but there was another guy with him that told me he was the coroner.
On that video that you saw at the beginning of this, talking about remastering Tragedy at Paintsville Lake was the first episode released on the Mountain Mysteries. And there's a reason why I did that. The reason why is because when I first did it, I've learned over the course of doing these podcasts, and not this, but the podcasts that are on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, probably in that netherworld where that lost sock of yours is at. It's everywhere that you can think of. But I learned a lot about audio mastering and things like that. When I first started doing it, I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good. Well, I went back and listened, and after I remastered some key elements, I thought the first episode sounded like crap. The first go around I did it. So I've learned how to do a lot of things since then, and it's by trial and error and talking to people who know a lot more about it than I do. And so I thought to myself, why not? I know I don't release episodes every week, and there's a reason for that because I'm getting the hell away from quantity and I'm going more for quality.
Amen.
In my opinion, and I'm not saying this because it was about April, but in my opinion, that was one of the best episodes that we've ever done. And the reason why was because of the interaction with the interviews and the story itself, while tragic, is intoxicating. People listen to this, people all around the world, because I look at these specs. I used to look at them every day and I thought, to hell with that. So now I look at them once every couple of weeks. I'm going to pull it up on the back view here. The last people, according to, well, let me get to it. It takes this thing 2 hours to watch 60 minutes. Here we go. Anchor. There we go. It's pulling it up. I'll go to episodes. And the most popular episode is episode 1, Tragedy at Paintsville Lake. That's not a big surprise because it has, number one, been out there longer. So normally I would say if it's got the other ones beat by 10 or 15%, that's kind of standard because it's been out there longer.
Boy, this last one was absolutely phenomenal. If anybody hasn't seen it yet.
Oh,
Delphi.
Delphi.
Oh my goodness. It was
That
so
son
good.
of a bitch needs to be hung with his own skin.
I've
Two
been
little
waiting
girls, Libby
for
German
years for
and
this.
Abby Williams, 13 and 14, I believe, respectively.
Best friends.
Best friends. And you hear the video of the guy saying, over the hill. Because Libby, I believe it, yeah, Libby had enough guts and enough foresight to actually video this cat with her phone like right here as she and that other little baby were walking. They were just out enjoying a walk in the woods, enjoying each other's company.
Yep.
Two beautiful little girls. And
smart, intelligent,
yeah,
good,
you
good
can listen to the
babies.
episode. I'm not going to get into it, but God, you can listen to the episode. It's
Yeah,
available.
be sure.
And basically, what it is a synopsis. There's so much more, and we
Oh
may
my
go back
gosh.
and retouch on that. Oh my God, yeah. But anyways, the cops finally made an arrest, but damn, it took them long enough.
Yeah.
When they knew who, or I'm not going to say they knew from the they did not know from the beginning, but they
They
figured it out.
suspected.
Yes, they figured it out, and they actually brought in, if I'm not mistaken, an FBI profiler. And man, those folks from Quantico are great. You know what you watch on Criminal Minds? They are that good. But right off the bat, the profiler said it's somebody that lives here, works here, something.
Knows this area too well.
Exactly, because the area that they were found in isn't exactly, it's kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they arrested this guy, and I can't remember his first name off the top of my head, but his last name was Allen.
It's just right there. Grab it.
And he lived in Delphi. This is in Indiana. And people in town knew this guy. That's why when I was raising my child, I always try to instill that you may think you know somebody. You don't. People that think they know me have no idea the freaking evil I'll do to protect my daughter or to protect my friends or the people I love. For the most part, I'm pretty much an open book. I like doing what I'm doing here. I love riding Harleys. And I like the occasional Coors. We're not going the other way. And I like my coffee and my hot chocolate, and et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, the story itself is heartbreaking. But I wanted to put something out there, and that case has always captivated me because I'm sitting here thinking,
Yeah, me too.
how is it that anybody would want to hurt a child, let alone two children, let alone two little girls? Well, back to case in point, it's like my dad used to say. You know, I would say, well, it takes all kinds, I guess. And he said, no, it doesn't. We've just got them. He said, some of these sons of bitches need to be hung with their own skin.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. But anybody that would hurt a child or a senior, I'd like to introduce you personally to Jesus myself.
Me too.
That. So I just got nothing for him. No respect, no nothing. Yeah, I'm trying to get my hair a bit more messy looking. Stace, how's it looking? Is it messy enough?
It looks good.
All right, thank you, dear. I love you.
I've just quit brushing mine today.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing. And this camera is mirrored, so I'm thinking I'm going to my right when I'm really. I don't.
Me
know.
too. Me too. I'm like,
Wait a minute,
I can get that piece of hair, and it'll be like on the opposite side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cody always used to ask me. She said, "You trying to get that Superman curly key thing going?"
I like that.
I said I couldn't look like Christopher Reeve if I wanted, or Henry Cavill. Christopher Reeve was my Superman, but by God, Henry Cavill comes in a close second. He was freaking awesome. Anyways, let's give an update on Lars, and then I want to give a big shout out to people in the chat. So tell me what we have discovered about Lars.
We have discovered that we have us a haunted baby doll.
Mhm.
1000%.
Mhm.
He is not leaving this doll. He has already let us know that. He is attached.
Oh, we're just getting started. Trust me.
Yes, I'm letting them know. So, I actually spoke to the person where he came from,
Mhm.
and they told me a little something that they knew behind the story for him. He also was with another doll that
I heard that.
okay, he was already in there with him. Okay, so they came from Germany, and someone else has the doll that was with him. The doll that was with him, as of right now, is not showing any activity. Him, as you've all seen, shows very high spikes. Now, he has been blessed. He has been cleaned. He has been, I personally took a magic eraser and washed him again. So, as for right now, he's behaving, but he is still spiking tonight. So, I'm going to make it
And he is
getting
coming
him.
on the Haunted Doll tour.
He will be there, and I will have him encased so that nobody can touch him, just in case, because I've got to keep my eye on this one for a while.
Yeah.
It is
Okay,
spiking.
so let's give out shouts in the chat room.
Yes.
And most of these folks are Patreon members. Hello, Helen Prater, Charles Bowling. And we want to welcome our newest Patreon member, Crystal Burks. I've known
Ooh,
Crystal for a
welcome,
long time.
Crystal.
She's a sweetheart. She's a great person.
Ellen, Charlie, hey.
Also, of course, let's see, we have Barry Penix.
Hey, Barry.
Sharon Barron's in the chat.
Hey, Sharon.
Yeah, she's probably right beside of you, I believe.
She is. She's over here reading the comments for me.
Tracy Ferguson. Brooke Casey
That name sounds familiar. Do we know her?
Who, Tracy?
Yeah, that name sounds so familiar to me.
Yeah,
Where do I know her from?
Yeah, we know her from somewhere.
Is that stripper?
Huh?
Well, I know who she is. Yeah, she's that stripper that works down Lexington on the weekends. But don't.
That's the one. That's the one. Okay. Also,
she's got a daughter named Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's a dandy. I love Brooke.
She is.
Stephanie Blankenship. Of course, Brooke Casey in there, like we mentioned. Christina Marie.
Van Lair stripper.
A Van Lair stripper. Great. Got Cindy in there, and let's see who else. I'm just going down through the list here.
Tracy's gonna beat me.
Yeah, Stacy. LOL. Stacy. Everybody loves Stace. And we will. I saw your comments on Facebook, and if you want, dear, I will put you on the back of that Harley, and we'll turn some miles and go through some curves.
I'm ready.
My girl. So it's oh my God, Brooke on there. She gets low. Don't tell my secrets.
I was going to tell the other, but I won't.
Look, guys, seriously, if you're not watching this on YouTube, that's where you get these chats at. Most of these chats, some on Facebook, but YouTube's the place to see this thing. You can pop it up on your big screen, be on your phone, and invest. Go with chats and stuff. It's just a lot of fun. But on a more serious note, June 9th, Breathitt County Public Library at 6 p.m. is when the Haunted Doll Tour with 606 Paranormal begins. I have been graciously invited and have gladly accepted to be there as a part of it.
Oh, God.
And what we're going to do is have fun.
Absolutely.
And I want to say hi to Pay. Pay is saying hi to me. That's what her mommy said. So,
hi, baby.
So, but I also do want to encourage while we're going to have fun, this is not for the faint of heart. Because I promise you, you're going to see things that you didn't. You're walking there going, them dolls don't turn, Earl. Hellfire. Ain't no doll turns on its own. And when it turns and the shit hits the fan, which it will.
That's why I always welcome anybody that comes to our shows. Bring your own equipment if you want to. And
yeah,
you can, when you're doing the walkthrough, because I let everybody do walkthrough. You can get close to them.
Can I ask something? How much are the K2 meters? I mean, a rough price. If somebody wanted to purchase one.
You can get these for like $30, all the
That's
way
not
up
bad at all.
to the higher ones. Like mine, this one, I think we paid $400 for this one, but you get what you pay for. I mean, if you're gonna, have something neat,
It's like anything else in life. Yeah, you
yeah,
get what
you
you
get
pay
what you
for.
pay for. But if you just want one to check, you can even get them like at Walmart because they will sell them for people who are looking for like in the walls to see if there's anything
Yeah,
before they put a nail or anything up or anything.
I used that thing this weekend.
They
You get what
work.
you pay for. I had a guy up at Mineshaft Harley, which is my dealership, and or their family. And this guy was like, "Well, how do I make mine sound like a Harley?" I'm not going to say what he was riding, but I'll say it wasn't a Harley. And I told him, I said, "You want to make it sound like a Harley?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Buy a Harley. Make nothing sounds like a Harley, but a
That's
Harley."
right.
I said, if you want the sound of and the performance of a Ferrari, you got to have a Ferrari. Or if you want the sound and performance of a Mustang, it's got to be a Mustang.
That's right.
They make good and bad in all of them, folks. I ride
Yep.
Harleys because my dad and I got into that together. And we started off riding a different brand and went to Harleys. And that's a good question Charlie just asked. What does a spirit box cost?
Well, now you
I
can
know
just
some
get
of
like
those things
your
can be
basic spirit boxes that they'll like go through the different frequencies. You can pick those up $100 or maybe I think 129. I think we saw one that looked pretty good, but ours, we have been working on ours for probably. I know there's the main one I use. I've been working on it for 3 years just straight. And what I do is I feed my own sound banks. I work and do it my own self because I don't trust very many people when it comes to stuff like that, and I don't like fake positives. So I
No, I
stick with
get
the
that.
sound
Yeah.
banks, that are all different, and I like to hit them up and change them all the time. So I'm always changing the guts of my radios. You'll see me with a bunch of the old radios. That's because I'm always working, putting something in the back of it differently. And every one of mine, they do not plug in. They are not electric. I do not run electric spirit boxes.
Okay,
So
so they're battery powered or
yeah, I
okay.
run I run the for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But everything's different, so I like to try different things to see what works the best for me. Because what it's
That
all about, you can
yeah.
go right now and pay $5,000 for a spirit box, and this is the truth, and I really believe it, and I've seen it. And you could give it to somebody, and they could sit down with it and work with it for six months and never get anything, and look at it and say that is junk. Then you can take somebody who has the knack for it, who has the channel ability, sit down with it, and in 5 minutes come up with answers to 10 questions.
Intelligible answers, yeah.
It's the person that's channeling it. You can't just put it on there and say, oh, this person, y'all come through. They come through whenever they can or if they can, but they come through me. I allow them to come in. I channel everything. That's why it has to
But
be
you've
love
been
and light.
gifted though. I mean, you were born gifted, but I think you discovered it when you were what, 5 or 6, something like that.
I didn't know anything. I didn't think anybody was any different.
Yeah, but that's when you first
I've never
discovered your
told
gift.
anybody about anything. Yeah, I was about 4 is whenever I
Oh,
started
4.
really
Okay,
realizing
yeah.
something ain't right.
And fast forward a few years later, yeah, because you're what now, 22,
23.
2023. Okay, fast forward a few years later, and here you are with that gift going,
Yeah.
and you've helped countless people.
Well, we keep a dresser in our doll room. I know sometimes you'll see it behind me over here
Mm-hmm.
when I'm there, and it is full of files, private files from people that I've tried to help and try to be there for. And then a lot of the cases lately have been under 16-year-olds who've had seen past problems, seen things. So I try to work that out with them and see if we can figure things out.
Well, again, make sure if you can come to Breathitt County Public Library June 9th, or is it 9th? Is it 9th?
Yeah.
June 9th.
Hang on. Let me.
Yeah.
I've actually got some stuff to pull up here and read about it too.
I think the gas fumes are starting to go to my head.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good feeling. Okay, the Breathitt County Doll Tour is going to be June 9th, and that's going to start at. We're going to get there early, but it's going to start at about 6 is what they usually try to do. So I'm going to be bringing everybody there that you've seen on our show. Everybody's going to be there. I'm even going to bring Miss Jenny. You guys are going to learn a little bit more about her.
I love
And
Jenny.
then Estill County is it's going to be July 17th.
Okay.
And
So it's a lot of fun, but it's something that it's kind of like an enter at your own risk thing.
Be super careful and cautious is what we always ask everybody. And one more thing before we get started.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you all know one of all of our friends that's on Facebook. His name is Aaron James, and he has lost his little baby in Prestonsburg, and her name is Shelby Lee. And he's now offering $1,000 reward just for her safe return. Doesn't matter. No questions asked.
She's pretty.
He is so heartbroken, you all. I mean, I can't
Shelby
even.
Lee.
She is so spoiled and so loved. But I have her picture. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the 606 Paranormal page.
Go ahead and share that to mine.
If anybody could help us,
go ahead and share it to mine too, honey.
I will do anything. If we could get her back, I will help anybody. I will do anything I can to get this dog back to Aaron.
Oh, sweet mother of God. Barry Penix.
We've been driving, looking for her, asking people, showing them these pictures. She's got to get back to him. He hasn't slept. He can't eat. He can't do anything. This is his baby.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely get it.
Someone in his family had let them out to use the bathroom and let them back in and didn't know that she was missing at the time until he got there, and then she got out the gate. Okay. And he lives in Woodland Hills in Prestonsburg.
Yeah, I know where it's at. Uh-huh.
But if somebody might have picked her up thinking she was a stray or anything like that, please, you guys go on my page and share it. I'm going to start giving out T-shirts. Share this for me. I'll do anything that I can to get her back.
And she's pretty as she can be.
She is absolutely beautiful. She's a miniature schnauzer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and share it, and we'll see what we can. If everybody can help us, especially if you're around the area or you see somebody that's got a little mini schnauzer like that. You don't see many of these around.
A lot of our viewers are saying tag them in it and they'll share it. So, yeah, just make it shareable. So Barry says, speaking of gas fumes. Guys.
If y'all can see, it's on my, right now, it's on my private page.
Mm-hmm.
Just go on there, and I've pinned it to the top. Share it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for this.
Barry said, speaking of gas fumes, I had a friend that would huff gas and holler, I feel like a weed eater.
Oh, Lord.
I can tell you right now, this is going to be one of those nights.
Fun.
That's okay, though. And that's what we do. So I'll tell you what, we're going to step out just for a second. When we come back, we're going to start with the portal. We're going to open up the gates, so to speak, to good things to come through, things of love and light, things of God, Christ, the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And we will be right back with that just as quick as we come in, okay?
Yes, we're ready. I think.
And we're back, and here we go. Stace, the floor is yours, man.
Good deal. Who was your message for that you came through a minute ago? When you said, look to the sky. Can you tell us who was that message for? I'll tell you what. Can you tell us who is stuck to this doll. Do you know who this person might be that has this lovely attachment for this beautiful little sweet doll? Can you tell me? What's their name? Can you tell me this baby's name? All right, I'm going to try to read. Oh, Dad's home. Okay, well, glad you made it home safe. Can you tell me what this baby's name is? What's his name? Can you tell me? To the person that was coming through when Sharon and I were talking, can you come back through and talk to us? Can you come back through and tell me your name? Tim. I thought I heard Dave. I thought I heard Tim. Can you tell me who your message was for? Tell them to look to the sky. I heard that again too. I heard it too. Did anybody hear Tammy again? We've heard it twice now, 3 times. Can anybody tell me the doll's name? Lars, did you hear that?
Yes.
That was plain as day. Thank you. Is this his real name? And then they just leave it? It's like I said, yes, yes. Is there anybody in our chat room that any of you all want to come through and talk to? Now's your time. I heard you say yes. Now's your time. Come through for me. Wow, you all came through pretty much at one time on me. Can we do 1 or 2 at a time? What's your name? Sound like I said Joyce Hoyce, something like that. Can you tell me if Lars is a good spirit or not? Yes. Can you tell me again? Is he a good spirit? Good. Thank you. I pretty much thought that myself, but I'm really glad to hear that confirmation.
That's good news, given as active as he is.
Absolutely. Tonight, and he is back on it.
Mm-hmm.
Even in his arms and hands. I don't... Well, we made a little deal. Look, we made a little deal that he's going to come through and be and loving and light.
Lloyd says that you guys have had 3 things come off the wall since Lars came in the house.
We've had all kinds of activity. It's been crazy. It really has. And I mean, you know, he did receive his blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you told me about that it happened, I believe.
Yes, he's going to be going in a case so that there's no misunderstandings about somebody coming up, touching him, and saying, "Oh, 2 days later he followed me home." So we're definitely going to have the ones that are more
And
active.
to acknowledge Maddie Blankenship, hashtag poor scared Lloyd.
He's not scared me out. He's good.
Yeah, he's all right.
That makes twice I thought I've heard. It sounded like my voice on there. It did that last time and it said Stacia.
Yeah, sure did.
Can you tell me what my name is? Can you do that for me again? What's my name? And be careful what you call me.
Don't call her nothing bad.
What's my name? Did you hear that one? That was weird. Are you making the whispering sound, Lars? Is that you that's doing that?
Oh, we got music coming through too.
Yes.
Arrive. Entertainment has arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we are glad to see you.
Laura said yes to your question.
Lars said yes. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lars, if you're out there, what's my name? Is it Mommy? Well, for the people that don't believe that that don't believe that Lars is haunted, what can you tell them about this doll? Haunted. I've heard it twice. Hey. Is he haunted? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. The K2's going off. Are you making the K2 go off? Can you make it go off again for me? What is your name? It sounds like something in Spanish on that one too.
Mm-hmm.
That's really strange. She said, "This is Stacy." I cannot tell. What's my name? Did you just say my name? A nickname? Hey. Can you make the K2 go off on Lloyd? God, I'm going to call him Lloyd 3 times because I keep reading Lloyd's name up there. Yeah. Okay. See what he says? Get him, Lloyd. He has said Lloyd's name about 10 times.
He's out to get Lloyd.
Must be what it is. I don't know. Girl, you go ahead. I think you're beautiful too. Thank you. Are you talking about my doll? He's very sweet. $30-something. Base.
Real.
That's real. Is there anybody there that want to speak to anybody in the chat?
You got it.
Okay, the portal's open, and you go right ahead.
And if somebody's out there in the chat, if you want to hear from somebody, mention it and think about them. Think hard about them. Good memories, good thoughts.
A lot of times when we're like, if Chris and I are talking about April and we're talking about things that happened at school or laughing about dumb stuff that we've done and talking about her, most of the time we'll hear. That's happened to us a lot of times.
Several times, yeah.
We almost have a commercial too.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte,
Let's
I
take
have
time.
heard from him, I bet you 2 or 3 different times, and I wish you'd been on here the last time. I think it was. It was Matthew. Excuse me, Chris. It's a toy.
They're beautiful.
You have a message for someone that's been here that you spoke with them before. Do you remember? Do we have Matthew out there? If we do, I need confirmation. Can you say your name? Let's see. Angela, do you recognize any of these voices? Diane, sound like maybe it said. I don't know.
Tell it's true.
Yeah. A ghost. Is there a ghost in this house?
Yeah, there's one right behind it on my right shoulder.
How about Miss Debbie? Brooke would like to hear from Miss Debbie tonight. Is she able to come through? I heard that. Some you smell good.
Do what?
He said you smell good.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Smell.
My anniversary is tomorrow. Happy anniversary tomorrow, Charles.
Crystal would like to hear from Jennifer, her sister.
Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, can you come through for Crystal?
Maybe one of the guides can find her.
Could you help us? Do I have any guides out there to help me? Every time I call on you all, you always seem to help me. You helped me get Hannah through that night too, and I was really, really shocked and surprised on that deal.
Yeah, that was a struggle.
That was
There were
that
so
I've
many
never.
blocking her that night.
Yeah. I've heard Christopher about 3 times also.
Mhm.
I've heard Crystal's name a few times, yeah.
My birthday was a few days ago too. Happy birthday, Christina. Hers is coming up
But I don't owe
Sunday.
you a bike ride. I owe you a bike ride and a drink.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You're 23 now, so.
That Lloyd said he swore he could have heard Charlotte.
I thought I heard Charlotte a couple of times myself. Earlier, it whispered it too. Does anybody want to come through for one of us? We'll sure talk to you. My dad, Alan, or Mom Polly, Helen says. Alan or Polly, could you come through and say something for Miss Helen? She's going to be listening for you all.
Charlotte Kay said
Did that say Helen?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte Kay said she did also.
Yes, it did.
That's right.
Helen.
Trev.
There's Fred.
No, it's a Trev.
Trev.
Trev, like Trevor.
It sounds like
Well,
Fred to me.
Yeah, we'll listen to it again. If you got any Trevs in there, why don't you come through for us and let us know?
Tell him I'm behind the computer, so it might sound different.
Yeah. Charla.
Yeah.
If that wasn't Charlie, it was Charlie or Charles, something like that. I heard the. Did you come through for Helen for us?
Sharon.
And Charlotte, Sharon too. Yeah, Lloyd heard the same thing we heard. Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Fred, there it is again.
I'm just,
Is your name Fred? I do. Somebody said I do.
nope.
Somebody was sick, it said, and then she said me. Can you come through for Helen again? Give us confirmation on that, please. We would really appreciate it if you would. Are you still with us? Okay, thank you so much.
I've been watching him.
Wow.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised at this point if that doll stood up and did the merengue.
Can you tell me why you're so attached to this doll, please?
If it is Stacy, he's been attached to it for a long time, is my guess.
Yep.
Doll.
That was. I said it again.
Doll.
Said it again.
Mm-hmm.
That was
What is
3
it?
dolls.
That's what I thought 3 times.
Yes.
I'm not afraid of the doll.
No. No. But the thing that I was told about him is that he can get to that point, and that's the point that he's not going to be allowed to get to while in my presence. And we have a little deal set up, so he's not going to be bothering anybody. And I'm going to let him stay here. Boy. What's this boy's name? Boy, that sounded like Chris. It sounded like Chris talking right there. They love to imitate our voices. Have
They
you
do.
noticed that?
And I'm too busy giving Lloyd hell, so it's.
Who is it? It's me. I've got the baby.
Oh, yeah, it's jumping a bit. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, it's going through the roof now.
got hollow eyes in this section.
Are you seeing that, Stace?
Huh?
Are you seeing that? They're going through the roof. The lights are going through the roof.
Attached. Yes, he is attached, isn't he? Can anybody tell me why? Me? I'd love to know. I would love to know.
That'd be great to know.
Is it a boy? Yes, he is a boy. What did it say?
Could hear that.
Hear that?
His eyes look hollow from over here.
He changes, like, I don't know, he has different facial features and I can't keep my hands off of him. It's weird.
The noise has been traded in by the baby doll.
Can anybody tell me the person's name that's attached to this doll? If you can tell me, then I really want to know now.
Harold?
Harold? Harold?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this doll's name Harold? The person attached to this doll's name Harold. Him too.
You know
He's in there with him. Why did you choose this doll? Do you have a reason for it? Is there a reason? You know, if you wanted to cross over, that I would help you. I won't let anything happen to the doll. I really would hate to think of the thoughts of someone being stuck. Do you miss your family? Can you tell me your family's name? Dad. Well. Stacia, thank you for coming through for me. Did y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
It was a guy that said, Stacia, thank you for coming through. I've been talking to this guy. I said my name like 5 times over the last month. Can you tell me what your name is? Can you let me know? What's your name? You know my name really well. So what's your name? Can you see the reading on that, Chris?
Yeah, you're about a quarter of the way up.
Okay.
Oh, it just jumped a little more. Oh, he's... Yeah.
Spiking.
Oh, yeah. He's spiking.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you're on another device.
Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it. He's active.
It's
His eyes have changed 3 times.
Can you come through for anybody in the chat room tonight? Oh, we've got movement over here and stuff going down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you come and light this up for me? Okay, thank you. Can you come and light this up for me and prove to me that you're behind me?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here with me. You don't know how much. Can you light it up for me again and prove to me that you're sitting in that chair? Light it up for me. Light it up. Can you do it for me? You're at the table. That's fine. We're here. If you can light it up for me, let me know you're still here. You know how patient that I am. To Chris. Yes, I am patient to Chris.
Yeah, it's me.
You can listen. Can you light it up for me if you are still sitting over here? Don't leave me. Come and light it up, please. Thank you so much. Can you light that up for me if you're someone in my family? Light it up again for me if you're somebody in my family.
Somebody at the end of the space station.
Thank you. Can you light it up again if you're a male figure? Thank you. We can talk like this. As long as you can light that up, I can ask you yes and no questions, okay? You know it's not going to hurt you. Because I would never hurt anybody here. I've grown up here with you all.
Oh. Taking it out.
Did you come with me when we moved here? Is that why you consider yourself my family? Now you say there is absolutely nothing anywhere with any cord sticking anywhere, nothing.
No.
That's a box. That's an old quilt. And of course, the gas tank, all the antique things over there. And this is Lars's little box that we have a little pink light and blue light in with the battery. Because I won't use anything else. I won't use anything with the energy. And you see this. Thank you for lighting it up for me. I can feel how cold it is there.
There's something underneath the
Feel something underneath it.
underneath the table. My finger like on it.
Can you tell the people that's with us in the chat? Can you tell us who you are? Can you give me your name, please? Lloyd, are you seeing this? Well, I love you, whoever you are. I wish you would tell me your name. I said I love you too. You know that you're always welcome here. It's like I heard. Hang on. Can you tell me your name? You can use this device that's right here in this laptop. It's a sound bank. You can use it. It's the same one I use in my other radio, my other portal. Just a few more. Can you tell me your first name again?
Lloyd.
I don't know if it's Lloyd or Boy. I'm gonna listen.
It sounds like Lloyd over this way.
Somebody said a ranger. Ranger. A ranger.
13.
Can you come and take my hand? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Temperature just dropped over here.
Oh, the temperature's dropped
Right here.
dramatically around my feet, my legs, and my arms.
Right here.
Oh, look over here, Sharon.
Oh, yeah.
See this?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's feeling better. You're feeling better.
I'll clean the camera. It just looks very, maybe let's make it a little bit sharper. To the person that keeps using that dark voice, we fight people. Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
They killed me.
I mean, it's like, yeah. That's what that's what I was saying, Lloyd. I mean, you have any idea who I think this is, right? If you're my family, are you male? Can you light it up?
I think it's your brother.
That'd be nice.
It is.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's his voice.
Can you light it up if that's true? Can you light it up for me if it's true? Come on, light it up. Can you light it back up for me? Don't leave me. Thank you. Because I'd rather you be right here by my side than anywhere. Are you here because I've been sick and you're just looking in on me? Looking in on us?
Yep.
You know, you don't have to do that, but I appreciate that. And I love you. Make sure he's snapped up here, and I'll put this little baby over there, back over there. I'm going to put Lars back over here in this little box to hold him still. Is that okay? I was wrong. What were you wrong about? Can you light that up? Okay, first can you back away so I can ask you a question? Do you know Chris? Do you have anything, any kind of message at all for Chris? And you said that it's doing this as I'm asking.
Yeah.
Are you friends with Chris? Family? Can you see Chris from where you are? If you can look right here, this is where he's going to be staying every time we get on here. You see there? Let's get this camera back a little. Hello? God, I swear. Okay. It's like just ice cold all of a sudden. It's like really cold.
I'm about frozen to death.
It's really cold in here. And then it says it's like 73 in here. That is not true where we are, is it?
No, it's not. Still in arms.
Christina said she heard the word dad.
Yeah. I mean, it's went crazy. Yep, you're cold too. Can you come through the portal if you have a message for anybody that's in here with us? Can you come through that portal for me and talk? That way they can hear you. I would like for these people that are with us, that are our family here now, in spirit, to be able, thank you for that, to be able to hear something from their loved ones also. Since you're lighting that up for me, can you talk and come through? can see him. It says I can see him.
April's gonna be out the lake with me. We're gonna go out there Sunday.
Can you light that up for me? Can you step back first? I'm gonna have to have you step back completely from it. Oh my God. Fear something. I don't know what it said. Sharon wanted to ask if you knew her daughter that's crossed over named April.
I'm April. Did you hear that, Stacey?
Yeah, I heard that whisper. Thank you. Can you let her know that we've done everything we can possibly do to never forget her? Keep her memory alive. Thank you. Let her know that her mom loves her and we love her as well. Can you do that for us? Also, if you're able to be there with another little girl who's passed from our town named Stacia, can you light that up for me? She was brutally taken from us. If you can see her, I'm sure she's the brightest angel in heaven. Can you please tell her that she is missed and loved so much, and her mom misses her also and loves her? Thank you so much for that. Oh my God, did you hear that?
I love you, Mom.
And right there it said, tell her I love you. I love you. Tell her I love you. Okay. Wow. Thank you. We love you too. So much. God have mercy. Did you hear that? It said. My hair just stood up by itself on the side. Right here. I just went and got it. Okay, that was weird. Okay, I'm going to start looking on the camera for stuff moving over here because I keep hearing stuff moving. Can you move the doll for me? Move the doll. Cheers.
Mm-hmm. Even they found it funny.
Yeah. Wow, I cannot believe we got that confirmation so loud. Thank you for that confirmation, and thank you for being basically our spirit guide and helping us.
That was in April. That was a big station.
I mean, these babies that are taken from us, it's awful. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. This is from Charles. Bob says not Bud.
No, we're not going that route. Coors.
Cheers.
Yeah, Coors or Jim Daniels.
Little Jim?
Yeah, well, when you've known him as long as I have, you can call him whatever the hell you want.
Okay, he says, okay. Did you happen to know Jim Beam?
Have a young lady.
Something for the young lady.
I've always thought the world of Bob Dixon. Love him to death. Love him to
Oh,
death.
yeah. Me and Bob go way back.
Bob is just a great guy.
Yeah, I used to take him with me on ghost hunts, too.
Pulls in my driveway all the time on the golf cart.
Yep.
He used to come over when Paul Fife and I worked across from City Hall, and we
Yep.
chatted a bit. Yeah, he's just a great guy.
Did Summer come in? I don't know if she's in here. I don't know if she heard. I thought I saw her come in. pretty good session.
It's been above average, definitely.
Yes.
April, we had to be patient.
I'll listen to it to make sure. Are you still with me? I see you still lighting that up.
Sorry to hear about that, Lord.
Happy Mother's Day to all of you all. Helpful. I'm not sure. I see you. I can feel you over here.
Oh,
That quilt just moved over there to the gas pump station.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's check in with Chris. What do you think about it, Chris?
I think that it has definitely been an above average session. I think that
Another above crazy session.
I'm seeing new faces and new people come in all the time, and it tells me, there's no doubt there's curiosity, but also I think
yeah.
a lot of people are wanting to find that hope that life goes on.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, it does.
It really does.
I just this is proof of it. I'm curious about my name being mentioned a few times.
Yes.
And then, of course, people were
Me
handing
too.
the word dad because I don't know. If my dad was a no bullshit kind of guy. He'd come straight through.
Right. Yeah. He did. We heard him.
Yeah. He came through with my mom. That was some time ago. And then, of course, Trev. But now I also tell people this. I don't get amped up except for that night.
You can't unless you know what you know.
That's right.
When you know.
I don't get amped up because there's so many people out there named Chris.
And that's the truth.
Yeah, that's what he said. And it could be for me. It could be for another Chris. It's very important that we are not so centered on ourselves that we think every message is for us. But let me tell you something. Just because something doesn't come through for me and it comes through from somebody else, that makes me pretty excited because that tells me that somebody needed it worse than I do. I never go into any single show, any program, thinking I'm going to hear from somebody. Do I hope? Yeah, I'd love to hear from Trevor. I'd love to hear from Ollie. I'd love to hear from my mom or dad. And recently we lost somebody that I went to school with, and she was such a sweet person, Betsy Evans. Betsy was, she was a sweet person. She was remarkable. But it's kind of like one of those things, the older we get, the more we leave behind. And I never bitch about a birthday. And the reason why is because a lot of people are denied that opportunity. So, I'm turning 52 soon. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. I didn't think I'd make it to 45. I just didn't. And it turns out half of me didn't. He died at 44.
I completely understand.
Yeah. And, every time I lose somebody that I was close to, it's like taking a little piece with you. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people. We get to the point where we've got nobody left and we say, oh, what the hell am I doing around here for? I mean, I think I know my reasons to be here. My brother is chief among them. Maybe this program is a part of it. I quit trying to guess God's plan, whatever it is. I'm just following. I'm with it. I'm saying, okay, as long as his will is being served.
Right.
But I do think that God put you and I back together for a reason.
Oh, I know it. I know it. It's the realest thing.
It's about as real to me as it gets. I don't doubt it.
No.
And just so you know, I don't offer to throw everybody's ass on the back of that Harley. But when you said that today and I saw that picture, you said, "Come and get me." I'm like, okay.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I was like, okay. What was it you told Lloyd? The only thing missing from that bike was you on the back of it. I love
And he
that.
knows it too.
Yeah, I got no doubt. But I mean, it's one of those things that, for one thing, I got to know that somebody knows how to be a passenger, because that's a pretty big deal. And one of the people I've never ever said no was my kid, because Cody will lean into them damn curves by God, like she's an apex predator.
Yep.
I mean, she's ready to drag knees if that's what it takes, and I'm like,
Me
she
too.
rather go. She'll be sitting there on the back on her phone, and she'll just start videoing us going down the road. When I had that big black Road Glide Limited, that's what she did, and I was like, hell, she ain't rode on the blue one yet. That blue one's got torque for days. It'll pull a freaking tree out of the ground. Because I
Yeah.
told the story when I got the black one. She called it the Geezer Glide. And then I dropped it a gear from fourth to third and opened it up, and that 114 just came to life. And she was like, okay, we won't call it that no more. She said, that ain't a geezer. And I said, no, that's not a geezer's bike. So anyways, yeah, it's a great joy that I get, and I get it now. I got out of it for a while and just wasn't getting it. And then my dad told me before he died, literally like 3 days before he died, don't stop this. Don't stop riding. It'll get you through it. I thought he meant getting me through Mom's death, getting me through his death. He meant getting me through life. Everybody's got to have something. For some people, maybe it's, and I'm not making fun of this stuff when I say it, because these are real arts to me. Needlepoint or crocheting. My mom was, oh my God, she would crochet minions. She would crochet.
Whatever brings you peace.
Yes,
brings your heart
exactly. I don't care
happiness.
what it is. Underwater
what it
basket
is.
weaving, if that's your thing, do it.
That's what it's all about. What brings
That's
you
it.
that inner peacefulness.
Yeah, because let me tell you, that's harder than hell to find. And when you find it,
Yes,
you
it
can't put a price
is.
tag on it. You just can't.
No, because when you lose it, it's gone.
Oh God, I know. My maintenance guy, who is a very dear friend of mine, his name's Chris Howard. He looks at me today. He said, "Man, you're gonna have to drop something," because I had a doctor's appointment, and they said you got to get rid of some stress.
That's what they told me too.
Yeah, and they said, "What are you doing?" And I told them, and they made the recommendations on which one to drop. And I said, "Well," and of course I'm making jokes, and the doctors did find it very funny.
Mm-mm.
And you know how doctors are.
Yep.
And I looked at him and her, and I said, "You all need to lighten the hell up, because ain't nobody getting out of this alive. Because I know what's on. I know what's waiting for me. I know what's on the other side, and I look forward to it.
Me too.
I look forward to seeing my mommy and daddy and my grandparents
Yes.
again, and Trevor and Ollie and
Yes.
Betsy, and the people that we've left behind. Because let me tell you something. I'm not saying life's not magical, because I think it is. I think it can be what we make it to be. For me, that magic comes in doing this, talking to you guys, hanging around Stace, watching Lloyd go #scared Lloyd.
Yeah.
It comes from riding. And sometimes it just comes from sitting at the lake, talking to God.
That's a great idea.
You can't beat that. When you know God's there ain't nothing better than that. Nothing better than knowing where you're going. August 6, 2006, I took the plunge, saved, baptized, the whole ball of wax. And I remember talking to a guy who at my time was my pastor. His name was J.B. Hall. Little church in Floyd County called Prater Creek. And he said, we've all got reasons. And this was long before my parents died. And I said, well, answer me this. I said, you say I've got a reason on this earth. Why am I such a prick? And he thought for a minute, and he said, did you ever stop to think that maybe God needs warriors, and those warriors can't be soft? They need to be hard when they need to be hard. No. And then it hit me just a few months ago. My brother would be easily taken advantage of until I step in and become involved. Things get a little different then. I was asked once, are you your brother's keeper? And my exact words were, fuck with him and find out.
You damn right.
I said, I will move heaven and earth, and I will rain down hellfire on you So you look at him cross-eyed and see what happens.
I remember reading, I told you about this, up in our little tree house in the
Yeah.
library when we
Yeah.
were little.
Yeah, you
I
read that
read
tonight.
him
Yeah.
books every day, and then I would take and fix his little hair. I loved him from the start.
Oh
I
God,
just
he's
knew
got this
I just
blondish colored curly hair.
he was a
And
doll.
yeah, he's just got the heart. He's got my mom's heart.
He does,
And he's got her disposition. I've got my dad's. But
and he would go pick a
I
book
look a
and
lot more
read.
like my mom than I do my dad. But I've got my dad's temperament and I've got his disposition. And
Yeah,
now that I'm
you are a
older,
lot like them both.
yeah, now that I'm older, I've realized, I used to fight at the drop of a hat. I didn't care. Somebody could look at me cross-eyed. And now it's not that way at all. Somebody can look at me cross-eyed and I'm like, well, at least you're looking at me, not somebody else, and giving them grief.
Amen. That sounds like
But
me.
when somebody comes after somebody I love or care about,
Yeah,
that comes right back. Just right now. It's nothing. It's nothing.
that's
But
right.
maybe JB was right. Maybe that's why I am the way I am. And that's okay.
That's right.
Because most of the time, here's what I want. I want to
I'm scared
retire
what's going on.
somewhere. I want to get a freaking houseboat or an RV
Well,
and
we're
sit
going
up
to
at
get
the
an
lake.
RV.
And sit up at the lake. And you
Yes.
know what? If I was fishing for crap, I couldn't get a smell. But still, I'll cast a line and just sit there and And if the bobber starts to go, hell, I'm the kind of guy I'll let the fish back go. I'll let it go. Right?
Yeah,
Or just sit out there and look at the lake sitting on a bench. That brings me peace. Did you all
me too.
notice the opening of the gatherings now? That was filmed at Paintsville Lake by yours truly. I went out there one evening, and because giving dues where dues are due, that's where this all started for me. Was because of April. I typed in her name on Google a few nights ago. Boom, the Mountain Mysteries, April Pennington. Boom, April Pennington. April. And I'm sitting there going, that's more than we had, by God, when we started.
We had nothing when
That's
we
what I
started.
had. All it would pull up was find a grave.
Find the grave, find the
That was
grave.
it.
And then I even went on there and filled out the find a grave because it didn't have no information on that.
Really?
Yep.
And I didn't know how to get on there and do anything.
No. We got together
Well,
though. I lit the fire. We
now
went,
there's
didn't we?
people
We
that's
didn't
heard of
stop.
her. There's people that's heard of
That's right.
Derek Ingebretson. There's people that's heard of Mamie Thurman. There's people.
Yeah.
The Mothman was a gimme. Hell, everybody's heard of the freaking Mothman. But Octavia Hatcher.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that that's real? No. In my personal opinion, I think it's an urban legend. But she did die a tragic death at a very young age. And she was a beautiful lady. She was drop dead gorgeous. Pardon the pun. But she was beautiful. And there's all these others. When I hit Delphi, what was that, Stacey? 17, 18-minute episode?
I'll tell you what.
So far,
it was
she's
worth every
had
second.
480 hits in a week. Listen.
Great.
So people, when we drop something, that's what I'm saying. Instead of doing something just to do something, every week, the words of Paul Fife haunted me. And I'm going to try to do my best, Paul. And if Bob is still watching, let me know how I do. Son, go for quality, not quantity. And he'd always talk with his hands. He was very prolific. But yeah, and it hit me. I thought, I'm not going to turn something loose just to turn it loose and it'd be half-assed or not up to standard. Because number one, the people we talk about, the people that are the subject of these episodes deserve better than that. It took me, Sharon, 3 weeks to do April's, 4, maybe a month to do April's episode.
Yeah.
And now we're going back and remastering it because I've learned since then that we can do better and it can sound better. And let me tell you, so far, it's about halfway through and it sounds so much better. The audio comes to life. It's there. When you're talking, when I'm talking, when I hear Tim talk, it's in your face, which is what I wanted. Before, it was kind of like, sounds like radio. Well, somebody's done radio for 25, 30 years. You have a tendency to produce something with radio. And here's the reason. Radio stations, at least any good one, and QHY had the equipment. It brings that stuff to life. So you can just put out there something kind of ho-hum and it makes it pop out. Podcasts don't do that. I've got to do that. The producer of the podcast has to do that. And guess what? I learned how to do that. So that's why I am re-releasing that episode on May 19th. That date ring a bell? Now here's another kicker to that. I had no idea that it would be dropping then. I mean, I knew. I just said it for May 19th. And I went out and I said, damn, that sounds familiar. That was the date of her passing. I told you. I'm not smart enough to make all this happen. He is. This isn't me. I'm just going along for the ride.
You're the tool that he's using.
Yes. Special effects. That's what I've always said. Special effects. You want the gifted one? She's got blonde hair. She's sitting right there. That's her. I said created by Chris Sloan. I'll go back and change it. Created by God, administered by Chris Sloan. I'm not smart enough to make that happen. But I can tell you right now, I look over here in this chat room and I see the comments. Jay Ray, thanks, brother. Keep it going for another hour. First time watching. Every Thursday, Jay. And a lot of times on Mondays, too, we do a thing called Gatherings Contact. And it's for Patreon members, but you're more than welcome to be in it. And what we do is we try to give individualized attention to people. People like Charles, Helen, Christina, whoever. Helen, yeah, whoever.
We're going to put this sucker down.
I was going to say
Sam's messing with our camera every time we turn around.
Don't surprise me. But Mondays, normally around 8. And definitely Thursdays at 9, forbidding illness or something like that. Or the fact that me and Stacy are just dragging our asses like tired dogs.
I mean, that's us all the time, folks.
I'm just an old mutt and a mongrel breed, but she is a beautiful poodle. So, what was that in front of the camera?
A K2 meter.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, there's something floating in front of the camera. I'm going ape shit already. So, J Ray is Jason. Well, if he goes by J Ray, that's fine. Whatever. If Jay's anything like me, you can call him whatever you want to. Just call him for lunch. So, Lloyd just got this thing against Lars.
I thought he was country bumpkin ass calling us liars.
No, that'd get his ass beat. I know you'd handle that. Like
You
quick,
damn
fast,
Lars.
quick, fast, and in a hurry. So it's but no.
Me, no, I don't have a bad temper at all.
Going out to, and here's the thing, I live really, really close to Dewey Lake. Dewey Lake's whatever. Paintsville Lake, though, holds something for me. And maybe it's the memories I have of April. And that head dropping on that shoulder.
It's our whole life. We've been there our whole life. It's special.
Yeah.
And that Aussie hair products.
I smell it every time I go out there, Chris.
Explanation perfume and that red.
Smells like grapes. We're always
I smell it every time I go out there.
I asked her once, I said, what the hell do you drink for breakfast? Grape Kool-Aid? She said, that's my hair. Okay.
Yeah. She keep a bottle in it in her purse.
But to me, it's just clean out there. It's peaceful. It's nice.
It
and
is.
I've got 3 freaking ducks that follow me around everywhere I go. Ever since I fed them a breadstick. I named one Turkey.
Me too.
I named one Aflac because he looks just like the Aflac duck.
Oh.
And I named one Nugget.
Is it that one with the big?
Yeah, red? that's the one. That's Turkey.
The white
Turkey's
one.
Turkey's got the red. No, Turkey's got the red and the big red. Yeah.
He's so cute.
Yeah, and
I
then
feed him every time I go out there.
He's nice. But now he'll walk right beside my car and just sit there waiting on something to eat. And if I've got it, I'll give it to him. And then here come the other 2. So, and then there's them damn Canadian geese. They're mean. They bite. I don't get.
Yeah, they'll hiss at you when you try to feed them. They'll hiss at you.
Yeah, I actually, Amanda had gotten me a cross for Christmas. It's got mine and Trevor's picture in it.
Oh.
And she said it's for when you ride. He's always with you. And I wear it when I ride. Anyways, I'm gonna start taking that cross out of the lake in case that duck comes around. I can or them geese. I can hold up that cross and get a young priest and an old priest up there because them things are mean. They're meaner than hell. But that's my place to go to get to. It's either that or on that Harley.
You're lucky you have that.
I'm blessed.
I'm going to go out there this Sunday. I don't know exactly what time, but I'm going to go out there, and I usually just sit on that one bench closest to the area where her body was, and I just usually said Charlie goes with me, and we went out there and just put a little rose in the water, and
Mm-hmm.
then go up to her gravesite and put a little rose there, and take a piece of pizza.
Up there where little Sissy Poo lives, Charlotte.
Take a
Mm-hmm.
piece of pizza up there because she loved her pizza.
Good night, Charles. Have a good night, honey.
See you, buddy. But Crystal wrote them ducks eat chicken. Lovely's chicken and biscuits were they? Okay, Crystal, that's great. I like their mashed potatoes. But anyways, I'm getting completely off track there. The point
Sounds
of the
pretty good.
gatherings, I think, is being reached because it's giving people hope. People need that. It's the greatest gift that
Yeah.
that God has ever gave us. That in His grace and His love, but to give us hope in abundance to that. Because if you recall, He made a promise: when you step over that line, when you cross over, there'll be no more tears, no more death, no more pain, no more suffering. We've seen evidence of it. Every time Stacy fires up that equipment and and by all rights, by all physical science, the only thing you should hear is jumble. Nothing but just junk. But they take that junk and they make syllables out of it. Those syllables turn into words. Words are their thoughts and their feelings. I'd say it's more feelings than anything. And
We've
they're
got some
coming
new
through.
experiments coming up too. We're going to start taking actual people. Say,
Mhm.
for instance, if we have any way of getting any of April's clips of her voice,
Yeah.
her actual voice, which we have remember the recording,
Mm-hmm.
talking about her, somebody out there.
Mm-hmm.
We can get that. We can
Oh,
feed
you're
it.
talking about that. You're talking about the nasty hoe.
God, I cannot remember. The name slips me, but yeah.
You see me just crossing my arms and leaning back.
But yeah. Have you got to listen to that yet? To tell the truth of what
No.
happened? Okay, we'll get it to you. Anyway, we can take those and make them into snippets. We can make her having syllables, feed them in backwards, and use her name on a sound bank. That way, whenever she comes through, she can work with her own voice. How crazy. I've heard it.
I don't know where you got that idea from, but I love it.
I'm going to start doing it. We're going to start doing it. We're going to
Because
get
to hear her voice again.
real.
Well, look at Trevor that night. He came through and he said, "It's Trevor." That was Trevor Huff's voice.
I'll never
That-
forget it.
That blew me
I'll
away.
never forget it.
I was bam. And,
Oh.
I had a challenge this week. I did.
Yeah.
I got on the Harley and I took out of here with the intention of going to where our hangout spot was, which was Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville. And I got there, and let me tell you, I walked through there and I felt utterly destroyed. God will put people in your path for a reason. So here it is.
Yeah.
There was this young lady up there, sweetheart, and she works at Applebee's. I'll say her name's Jess. And she was there with a friend. And I sit down. And of course, my mind is on Trev. She saw something was up. And by the end of that night, I was actually smiling because we had talked, because she knew him, because we'd gone up there before and had a few drinks and met some new people. And Trev said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Chris will pay for it." And I was like, hell. And I did. I was like, okay. But we made new friends. And, that's how Trev was. And sometimes, he would pick up the tab. We just went back and forth like that. But it was always brothers. He told me 2 months before he died, he said, "We've known each other for over 30 years. And you've never talked about me behind my back." And I said, "I never will." And we both found out that we both almost got into fights over somebody talking about the other of us. Somebody had mentioned him once to me in a derogatory manner, said he thinks he's a rock star. And I said, fill in the blank, he is. He fronted Flat Mary Stone in the 90s. They've used their music on NBC, ESPN, ABC, Flat Mary Stone, look them up. That was Trevor Huff singing.
I got into somebody over him too.
Yeah. And then I had,
same something kinda,
yeah,
but I let them have it.
yeah. Nobody, to this day, nobody talks about
No,
him.
I love to hear Trevor sing. I loved it, and
Oh,
whenever he
Lord.
sang the
I would
tubes,
drive
it's
anywhere
my
to listen to
favorite.
the guy sing because he
Me
could
too.
sing.
Me too.
He could sing. The answer to your question, Barry, is yes. I don't have the equipment to do it right now, but yeah, it's actually pretty easy to do it, converting VHS to DVD. But it was one of those things that I never knew about it, and he didn't know about it, and I never knew that somebody had said, well, he thinks he's radio god, and Trev looked at him and said, my God, have you heard his voice? It'd make your wife wet. I said, so don't even go there with me. And for me, it was somebody saying, well, he thinks he's a rock star. I said, well, he is. I said, he's a singer. The only reason that band went their separate ways was because the guys had different priorities at that time. Some of them wanted to start families, etc. And Trev got that. He understood it. No hard feelings with him. Guy was the most forgiving person I ever met in my life. And I told him, I said, man, sometimes you need to harden up that heart a little bit. He said, it can be hard when it needs to be. He said, but I don't think it needs to be all the time. And I said, no, it doesn't. We had this conversation on a Sunday. I'd went over to his place. And just to give you an inkling, and I've told this story before, then it was shortly after my mom died. I was on a drunken stupor, and he took my keys from me. I was at his house.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
And he said, you got two choices. Because I was trying to get my keys back. I was going to go home, or I was going to try to go home. I was going to get killed is what I was going to do. And he said, you got two choices. I said, you can go in there in the bedroom, lay down on the bed, sleep it off. And in the morning, I'll make you pancakes, frozen pancakes, but they're pancakes. Or I'll knock you out. He said, I love you. He said, that's why I'd knock you out. He said, because I love you and I don't want to see you dead.
Right.
He said, but then I'll pick you up over my shoulder. And Trev stood about 6'2". Trev was a big guy. He was strong. He'd never openly say, well, I'm strong. He was strong. He said, I'll throw you over my shoulder and I'll take you in there and throw you over the bed. And in the morning, I'll make you frozen pancakes. Pancakes, but they're frozen. Well, you got to remember, I'm 8 sheets to the wind. We're talking a half a case and probably a bottle of liquor. I'm gone. I don't know what county I'm in. So I thought to myself, there's no way I'm going to try to fight this guy. Besides that, I loved him. He was my brother. So I went in there, stretched out, woke up in the morning, pancakes, frozen pancakes, but pancakes, sausage, orange juice, and coffee. And I said,
Wow.
sausage, orange juice, and coffee. He said, yeah, option 1 came with benefits.
Wow.
That was Trev. That was Trevor saving my life. That's who he was. Wasn't the first time. We all have people in our lives that we lose. And it hurts. It hurts like hell. The brain's got billions of brain cells. We all have people in our lives that we lose. But killing those memory ones, those are real sons of bitches.
Yep.
So it's not about what happens to us. It's about how we respond to it and how we handle it. And that's the purpose of this show. Maybe one night I'll talk about bullying to start it off. Maybe one night we'll talk about dealing with grief for the loss of a loved one. Maybe one night, hell, I don't know. One night we could talk about Bigfoot or Dickfurs. But in the end, it's all about you. It's all about us. I vent. Stacy can vent. Stacy and I vent to each other quite often in private. We get on the phone, on a video thing. We chat. We talk. Speaking of which, stay after the thing closes because I want to talk to you about something. Okay, Stacy?
Yes.
But in the end, it's all about you guys. Because every single one of you out there, and that's what I keep trying to get to you. And I wish I could have got it through to somebody else. You're worth it. And no matter how bad you think it is right now, it'll get better. No matter how bad you think it is. It will get better. So don't give up. And remember, you determine your value, not somebody else. Never, ever, ever let anybody else determine your value. You're worth it. You're good enough. You're more than good enough. You set the bar for what good enough should be. And as long as you are at peace with who you are and your actions, and I know some of you aren't, but when you get to that point, you keep it. And here's how you keep it. You don't let anybody steal your thunder. You find what makes you happy and you do it. It's that simple. I'm letting that sink in.
It did for me.
Because, yes, I know, baby. You're a big reason I say a lot of this stuff. You don't. The depth that I love you is beyond measure.
Ditto.
And God loves you that much more. You are so worth it. The joy you bring to people stays. The peace you bring. The happiness, the hope. It ain't Chris Sloan doing this. It's God working through you. He uses me as a tool to bring you to others. And I ain't got no problem with that. I'm proud of it.
Yep, me too.
My girl.
I always help.
adopted her.
I always want to help.
I've loved her since I've known her.
Yep.
Christina says that's a message. I love you, Christina. Christina has become a very, very good friend. She is. She was one of our first Patreons back when the Mountain Mysteries was just the Mountain Mysteries, just a little podcast. And now it's just boom, 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 go, 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 go. And here she is. Crystal says sometimes it's hard to see that I'm worth it. Well, let me tell you, Crystal, that's true. Sometimes it's hard for us to see that we're worth it, especially when we're down and out. But let me give you a real quick thought right here. This thought is from the heart. There's two sides to this thing. There's wars going on. There's a war, and it's for your soul. On one side, you've got God, you've got Jesus Christ, and you've got the Holy Spirit. See, God loved us so much he gave us free will. Not that he would make us, or not that he would choose for us, but he would have us choose. Because that's the only way that he could do it and still show the love that he has for us. Now you keep this in mind. He chose to send his only son to this earth, to walk in the flesh, to be beaten, crucified, spit on, carry his own cross, and hang from it. What was the last words Jesus said? Well, the last words he said was, "It is done." But before that, he said, "Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do."
Now,
Can you imagine giving up your only child to go die for somebody that would spit on them, curse them, not believe in them? That burns my bacon. Now, the other side of this coin is you got the guy down there. Oh, do what you want. There's no consequences. Go out, have fun. Have as many sexual partners as you can have. Do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. It's perfectly fine. You ain't got no consequences to pay. Don't worry about it. I forget who it was that said, and it could have been Billy Graham or someone else, but it made perfect sense to me. It may have been Paul Harvey. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But he said, the devil's greatest victory will be to make you believe that he does not exist.
Yep.
Billy Graham.
Was it Billy Graham? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look at things today. People come into me or into my office or they see me. Man, look at the shape of the world today. I cannot imagine. I could not believe this is going on. How about you? Yeah, I believe it.
It's only going to get worse, too.
Yeah.
And they look at me and say, how can you believe it? I said, because over 2020 some years ago, my Savior, Jesus Christ, he told people this was going to happen. Y'all still walking around out here like ain't nothing wrong. Look at what they're teaching in schools today. Some schools.
Yeah.
Look at what has become acceptable. Because we see it every day. Slowly over the course of time, over the last 50 or 60 years, people have become immune to it. So you see, Crystal, when you're down, if you are the guy down there, what would he want? He would want you to feel isolated. He wants you to feel worthless. He wants you to feel like you're not worth it. He wants you to feel like there's no hope. Might as well do what I want to do. Don't buy it. Don't believe it. Because there is a force stronger than him. When Christ opens his mouth, game is over. They'll gather at the battlefield. I think it's in the Middle East. And I'm sorry, I'm not very well versed on this. It's just a feeling I have. When they gather, Jesus comes in, he opens his mouth, game over. It's that simple. You will then be made to see how much he loves you and how much you are worth it. I don't care if you're unemployed, if you're employed, if you've got a job digging a ditch, or if you're a CEO of a company. It doesn't matter. The money, the materials, the cars, the house, none of that matters. What he's going to look at is your heart. And you've got a good heart. All of you do. Choose that. Is it hard? Oh, yeah, it's a lot harder than the other way. But if it were easy, everybody would do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the things that are the most difficult in this life that are worth doing the most. You think this was easy for me? No. But I know you're worth it. I know Stacy's worth it. Sharon's worth it. Lloyd's worth it. Can I share something, Stacy, that you have told me?
Sure.
That this show has given you purpose and hope.
Absolutely, it has. It really has. It's given me a place to feel home.
He knew you needed it.
Absolutely, I did.
I remember when I first contacted you. It was about an episode of the Mountain Mysteries. It's called Afterlife.
Yep, I remember.
Mm-hmm. And I no sooner got done interviewing you, and I thought, I've got to have her. I've got to have her on here. She is my other half. You were the piece that was going to make this work. And I knew it. Because it wasn't that I'm sitting here thinking, oh, we'll get big sponsors. I don't give a rat's ass about big sponsors.
Nope.
I don't care.
That's not us.
But what I care about is making a difference in the lives of human beings and people.
That's right.
She can connect in a way that I can't.
But together, watch out.
Yeah, together, it's thunder and lightning. Shake and bake. Shake and bake. Shake and bake. That's what it is. But
watch
we
out.
love doing this. And we do it for the right people. God is the only reason that I make it. You're right. He is, Crystal. And you know what? Here's the great thing about that statement. God is all you need, and he will never leave your side. Let me tell you something. In 2016, I turned my back on him. Told people he wasn't real, called him the magic man in the sky. I went through a very dark time 3 years before my parents left. But I hit my knees one night after people kept talking. And they said, if you want to break this, you need to pray. And I'll tell you exactly what I said to them about praying. That's what I said to them. It wasn't the gesture, it was the words. Get that out of my face. Oh, I was in a very bad place. Very bad place. Somebody very close to me, her name's Brenda, said, you need to end this. She came to me at 4:00 in the morning with a pot of coffee. And she said, you are in a place, you are teetering on the fire of hell. He's about got you. Please just do me a favor and just pray. So that night, out of respect to her, I hit my knees and I prayed. And I'm telling you, this is my right hand. It may look like my left on camera, but it's my right hand of God. I felt something just crack. And I kept doing it. And the more I did it, the more it cracked and the more it gave way. And finally, I was released and I cried like a baby for a week.
Yeah.
Begging for his forgiveness. And he finally came to me. And I heard it here. Not here, but I heard it here. I never left. You are forgiven. I never left. He will never leave you, Crystal, Christina, Barry, Sharon, Stace, Lloyd, none of us, Charlotte, Helen. He'll never leave. Never. He's there. And he has saw fit to allow what is happening here to continue to happen, because I honestly believe we're getting pretty close. And you know it's real. Now, you've got a choice to make if you've not made one yet. Which side do you elect to follow? In the words of Ed Warren, heaven and hell, the fairy tale, is real. God exists, the devil exists, angels exist, devils or demons exist, and our very future elects solely upon which we depend to follow. Which one will we choose to follow? That was Ed Warren, Lorraine's husband.
Yep.
He's so right. He's more right than many people know. So the question is, who do you follow? Look, I'm not a pastor, no intentions to be. But if I can lead one soul to Jesus, then I've done something. Because by
That's
doing
right.
that, then you have hope. You will have hope because you know it's real. To the naysayers, I mean, I can't sit here and cite biblical verses. I don't. I know a very, very, very few. But I can tell you what I feel in my heart. And it's nothing more real I've ever felt than that in my life. Never. So with that being said, it is real. And I hope you make the right choice for you. Excuse me. Sinuses have been killing me. But girl, you know I love you.
Love you.
And I want you to stay put. If you don't care, please.
We'll be right here.
If you got the time.
We got time.
To everybody in the chat and everybody that's watched tonight, I want you to know that we love you. And no, this isn't the segment part where, hey man, please send money. No. Just that we love you. It's that plain and simple.
We're like, good night, Mary Ellen.
Not Jim Bob. Good night, Sue Tom.
Not John Boy.
Sue Tom. You know, Johnny Cash saw into the future back in the 60s. Only today would it be okay to have a boy named Sue.
Yeah.
I had to say that. Sorry. And that is why we don't do the Budweiser as Bob Dixon says. Or the Bud Light.
Bob's like, no, but
I like the Rocky Mountain Coors. We'll go there or something. So it's whatever. But anyways, guys, I love y'all. And I hope to see you here. We're going to try to be on Monday. As long as, you know, heaven allows it and the creeks don't rise. And Stace, again, tonight, thank you so much. It was absolutely
my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
And thanks to 606 Paranormal. And once again, Haunted Doll Tour, June 9th at the Breathitt County Public Library. And then the next month will be in Estill County. And we invite everybody to come out and meet with us. And we would just love to see you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
And see you not on a computer screen, but in person.
Right.
And I am the kind of person that will talk to just about anybody. And as long as they're respectful, I'm fine with it. I'll answer any questions I can. And the ones I can't, I'll point right over there to Stacy. I'll say, yeah, right there's the one you need to talk to about that. So until either Monday or next Thursday, probably, I'm hoping Monday. We love y'all. May God bless and keep you. And as always, stay mysterious. Have a great night.